I didn't know about the race today on South, and hooked on driving. Says, "Well, what day is the race?" I said, "What race?" I'm staying for here. I love it. It helps everyone else. Hmm. Thing's broken. Morning, everyone. Turns out if you're cold, the conk's cold also. So welcome everybody. Welcome to beautiful VIR. Thank you for coming out with us. My name is Jack Beecham. I'm the event manager that's going to be helping y'all out the next couple of days. I know it's a little bit chilly out, but sun's already shining. Asphalt's going to start heating up. We're going to start heating up. But that doesn't mean we can go out right away and start attacking the line. How many of y'all are cold right now? It's still chilly, right? Actually, I've got another question. How many of y'all would say you're from south of South Carolina? What about north of South Carolina? So that's a pretty good split. Half the field thinks it's cold. The other half, thinks this is a beautiful, Saturday morning, right? But it is a beautiful Saturday morning because we're amongst friends. We're here at VIR. We're all out here to have some fun, and we're about to kick it off. So y'all have already accomplished the first step. You've got here to VIR. I know a lot of y'all have been here the last couple of days. But I want to thank y'all for coming out and joining us for the next two, here with Chin Track Days, brought to you by Quantum Speedworks. So before we get, very far into the meeting, I did want to touch on a couple things real quick. Notice I've already taken my mask off just so that it's easier for some people to read my lips that might be watching online. Um, VAR still has, COVID guidelines up. It's something we are still living with, a year later. If you're inside a building, please have a mask on. If you approach our trailer, please have a mask on, and that's for our staff safety. We go to 15 different tracks across the U.S. There's only 4 of us that run track events. If one of us, catches COVID, that takes us out for 2 weeks, and we can't go provide you with the track time that you want. Now, last year, about a week from now, last year, we shut down, and we had to cancel 11 of our events. I didn't go. I went 3 months without being at the track. I went 3 months without seeing my family because y'all are my track family. I come to the paddock, smiling faces, or assume they're smiling faces. Y'all might be frowning at me right now. But bottom line is, I missed out on a lot of last year. So did everybody else in the paddock because of what we're going through, and whatever it takes to ensure that we can continue to come to the track. We should all be doing our best to keep ourselves safe and healthy, and our families safe and healthy. If your life has been personally affected by COVID, raise your hand. So that's more than 25-30% of the paddock. Stuff that's going on, but it only takes one person, to ruin the fun for everybody. So please take care of each other, and that's really all I'm going to say about that. Because what y'all came out here to do is use your vehicles as a form of entertainment instead of a form of transportation. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. So we already touched on it's cold outside. Your tires are going to be cold. Your brakes are going to be cold. Be sure you come over to the Pagoda Grill. Get yourself a warm cup of coffee this morning. Really help the juices start flowing. Then also take advantage of the morning orientation session, formerly known as the warm-up. Go out. It is understanding yellow. Helmets are required. And make sure that you understand that we are running the North Course today. So you'll be lining up coming out of Stink, looking at the beautiful S's going up the hill. But unfortunately, you got to slow down, hit the brakes, and make that right-hand turn up into the Patriot Course. So if you do have a problem out on track today, and it happens to be in that area, please make sure you don't pull through the barriers there, because you will be pulling onto a hot track with other cars, and they might be very, very surprised to see you there. And trust me, if you've got a GT4 Club Sport, GT3, Z06, you probably don't want to have your car out there surrounded by chump cars all of a sudden. No knock on them. Motorsports is motorsports. We're all out here doing the exact same thing, but you will be a little bit out of place. So I do want to give some shout outs. Want to talk about our staff. Definitely can't do this on my own. I've got my buddy from South Florida here, Will Conklin, our newest event manager. He's freezing his butt off over the trail. I want to give him a round of applause. Because this is just way too cold for him. I saw him sitting over there with a heater in his lap. Not really sure how safe or OSHA compliant that is. And then, of course, our chief instructors. We've got Clint Owings, who will be running the classroom. Y'all will have seen him in tech. And, of course, Papa Pat Roney over here. And always want to give them a huge round of applause because we can't do it without them. Now, Pat, can you come over here for a second? Because we got something a little bit special. We always say, at Chin events, there are no trophies. You already brought your trophies to the track with you. We want to make sure that you take your trophies home in the same condition, just less a little tire, less a little break. But once a year, it is an honor and a privilege to, to recognize one of our chief instructors for just an astounding job. Last year, Pat, in his sophomore year as a chief instructor, visited 10 out of the 15 tracks that we go to, 34 days on track with Chin. And that's just with us. And this is the original track rat. He was out there with other groups. He was cheating on us a little bit, but that's okay. Go out, share the love motorsports, love HPDE. Just wonderful, wonderful guy. And any of y'all that know Pat and see him in the paddock, I want you to go by and congratulate him if you see him today, and make sure that he's just having a wonderful time. So, Pat, for Chief of the Year for 2020, we want to present to you with this wonderful piece of garbage that we have welded together into a trophy. And hopefully this fits in your carry-on.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
You want to heave that up a little bit, or is it going to throw out your back?
This is going to fall. Oh, Jesus.
And those are, since you drive a Corvette, we made sure those are all accurate parts.
All right, good deal. I need it. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Pat. Chin. Thank you.
Yay, Chin. Oh.
All right, photo op done. All right, so now we're going to head on to the meat and potatoes of the drivers' meeting. We always like to bring a little humor in. We are out here having fun. If you find yourself not having fun in the paddock, something needs to change. And that thing isn't necessarily, the person in front of you that hasn't given you a point by in a couple laps. If you ever find yourself getting red mist, getting frustrated out on track, take a second, drive through the pits, get a breather, get back out there. If you see something out on track that makes you feel uncomfortable, rest assured it's going to make us feel uncomfortable too. So make sure you come by and see us. Today it's going to be busy. We're on the short course. This is something we've dealt with for years. Tomorrow you'll be able to get your full speed laps, on the full beautiful course here at VIR. Today, build yourself so slowly. Help each other, work with each other out on track. That way we get through it. Everyone has a great time and everyone turns positive laps. Blue group and green group especially is going to be busy out there. I do have a limited number of spots where we can advance some people to red, but if you're a solo yellow driver and you're looking to move to blue, it might be best just to wait until tomorrow to do that. We've also opened up a couple additional passing zones, and we'll be talking about that in the classroom session for our novices. Now, I did just mention red mist, and everybody here understand what red mist is. Raise your hand if you've ever experienced red mist. So if you're new to the hobby and you're not really sure what I'm talking about, red mist is a momentary lapse of judgment because of emotion. The moment you get emotional on track, on the highway, at work, with your family, you're no longer in the moment. You're no longer cognizant of what's really going on around you. You've been put inside of a shell. And so if you feel that red mist sticking up on you, like I said, you feel like you're not having fun, take that breather, take that moment, nip it in the bud, recognize that you are still in control of the situation, even though you might be frustrated to somebody else. You are in control of your own universe while you're out there on track. We're all out here doing this together. But you control what your car is doing. You control your actions. Myself personally, I have ruined an entire session before. I'll admit to one. Because I knew I was faster than the car that came out in front of me, and who would have given me a point by for 6 laps. And I dogged that car. I was all over it, way up inside of the curbs, flashing my lights, let me by, let me by. Finally, the car let me by, and I took the checkered flag, and I realized he wasn't the asshole. I was. I had every opportunity to come in the pits, get away from that driver, and go back out and have fun. Instead, I did the opposite. I had to prove something to that driver. What I thought I was proving was that I was the better driver. What I ended up proving was I was the bigger asshole. And no one wants to be that person. And it takes a little bit of introspective. It can be difficult at times. But we are a family out here. If you need any help, if you're feeling frustrated, talk to your fellow drivers, come talk to us. Now, how many of y'all have friends in the paddock this weekend? All right, if you haven't raised your hand, please come by the trailer. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to get you introduced to our staff. That way you have a support group while you're here in the paddock. We want to take care of you. We want you to take care of your fellow drivers. That way we can all go out there and turn laps and have fun. How does that sound? Awesome. So I'm going to get off that podium. We're going to move on. I want to give a quick shout out to the first 2 drivers to sign up for this event 8 weeks ago. And on that faithful Monday evening, the first driver was Owen Fay. Owen, are you here this morning? Hey, look at that. Congratulations. Fastest man on the keyboard. And our first instructor was Steve Furman. Steve, how'd you do it? Hey, there he is. Come on down. So many more opportunities coming up to get the coveted $649 chin koozie. Brag about it to your friends. Brag about it to your wife. If you want to come by and purchase one, they are for sale in the chin trailer for $2 each. But it's a lot much more fun to get it for free. Correct. So I want to talk about our run groups and our format. 3 run group format, just like always. Novices with instructors, also solo yellow drivers, passing restricted straightaways only. Today, this is going to be the front straightaway. We're going to do 2 to 3, 3 to 4, the short chute going to the north course, and then also the short chute coming into hog pit. So we're trying to open up the lap as best we can. Please remember, it's always pointing the direction of the next upcoming corner. So going down the front straightaway, point by to the right. This allows the driver that's being overtaken to keep their eyes on the vehicle that's overtaking them. They know when they're clear, they can blend back in behind them. Blue group, intermediate. Passing is unrestricted. You can pass anywhere on the lap that you feel comfortable doing so, of course, with an appropriate point by. Red group, hundreds of thousands of laps, possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars into the hobby. Passing still requires a point by, but it is also unrestricted. Red group, though, if somebody has reached your bumper, you probably waited too long to give that point by. Now, we do allow point bys to be done in 2 different ways. Please, though, only do one at a time. Good old-fashioned arm out the window, arm over the roof, point by to the left, point by to the right. We also allow the use of turn signals. 3 blinks to the left is a point by to the left. 3 blinks to the right, point by to the right. If you do opt to use your turn signals, please remember to cancel your turn stalk after the point by. If you come to us and say cars 73 white, 52 gray, and 13 red all pass without a point by, we reach in and go click on your turn stalk, you're going to feel like a bit of a heel. So be cognizant of that. If you're new to the hobby, I will say I have never forgotten to pull my arm back in the window. So maybe that is just the better option. There are some cars out here with fixed windows. So if you do have fixed windows, turn signals, obviously, I don't want you to try to punch the plexiglass. And when you're coming into the pits or you're slowing down to come in or you have an emergency, please activate your hazards. If you see a driver coming down, they've got a fist up in the air for a pit-in signal. This is a valid passing signal as well. And the hazard signals should be treated the same way. Hit the schedule real quick. Your day has already started with the morning drivers meeting, which I promise will end. Coming up next at 8:30 will be that track orientation session that I spoke about. Novices with your instructors. It is a hot session, so helmets are required, but there is no passing. It is understanding yellow, so take advantage of that and see where all the man corner worker stations are. Remember, the corner workers are your lifelines out there on track. They're the ones that communicate information to you and make sure that you are safe while you're out there. After that, 9 a.m., our first red group session. That'll also be our first classroom in the nice, beautiful, heated classroom building over yonder. That'll be with with Clint this morning, and 9:40 blue, 10:20 green, and that'll take us to 11 a.m. lunch. We will be doing parade laps at 11:45. So low speed track touring behind a pace car. So if you have friends or family here that want to check out the lap, we can get them out there for a few laps and they can see what it's all about. 12 o'clock noon will be our next red group session. The afternoon it'll be 30-minute sessions. And this will be our second classroom, once again with Clint over there in the nice, warm, heated building. 1 o'clock green, 1:30 red, and we'll follow that 30-minute rotation to the end of the day. We get to the 4:30 happy hour. How many of y'all have participated in a chin happy hour before? How many of y'all love the chin happy hour? So for those of you that are new to our format, it's all drivers, all run groups, welcome on track at the same time. Now you might be thinking, how is that possible? How can you blend less experienced drivers and more experienced drivers at the same time? Really, it's very simple. Because of the mutual respect that each and every one of you have for your fellow drivers. So, more experienced drivers recognize are going to be novices out there. Their cars are going to have an X on the back. This is not a target. This is simply to let you know there's a less experienced driver in front of you. So if you fill their mirrors, pass them without a point by, do anything silly, you also have just been observed by one of our instructor staff. They're going to come talk to us. Then we're going to come talk to you and say, hey, why are you harassing our novices? Remember, novices are friends, not food. It's a lot of fun to run down that horsepower car in your E30 or your Miata. But it's the person behind the wheel that makes the vehicle handle the way it is out there. And throughout the day, remember, we're a community. If you see someone that looks like they're lost out there, maybe could use a couple pointers, maybe a little bit of help. Approach them in the paddock. See what you can do to improve the amount of fun that they're having this weekend. Think back to your first days on track. It only takes one person, being unkind out there on track to ruin the whole experience for somebody. And some drivers might not ever come back. So put yourself in that perspective, or look at that perspective. That way we all have fun out there and take care of each other. 5:30, track goes cold. We'll be done for the day, and we'll come back tomorrow morning and do it all over again. Anybody have any questions about the format? Awesome. So, want to talk about our vendors real quick. Obviously, we can't do this on our own. Our VIR events are brought to you by Quantum Speedworks. They are located over in the Raceplex. They do tire mounting, they've got car rentals, and also vehicle service. So if your car goes down, be sure to go over there and see if they can help you out. See if they can help you save your track weekend. And remember that it is not a charity job over there, and please pay them accordingly. Seen a lot of drivers come out here. Brakes need to be rebled. Maybe they flat spot a tire, need to get something mounted, and the guys over at Quantum can really help you out and get you back on track. Now, something special for this weekend, we're also being presented by Garmin. The Garmin Catalyst and Ross Bentley and JD Kroll are going to be here, and got a couple things that they're going to say real quick because they've got something pretty special in store for you. Gentlemen, say something?
No, not to go up the road. I got to get
Hey, morning, everybody. Thanks for letting us come out and play cars with you. That's what we all love to do, right? JD and I are going to be talking a little bit about and demoing and sharing and playing with the Garmin Catalyst this weekend. So if you have one and want to come and talk to us about it, please do. If you don't have one and you want to try one out, sign up and let us know. JD will kind of go over the details of that in a moment. But the other thing is, you probably know that I'm pretty much addicted to helping drivers, whether it's with stuff like this or coaching or stuff online. I get a kick out of meeting the people that I talk to online at times. So if you're one of those people, come by and please come say hello to me. And let's talk driving. That's what I love to do. Again, whether it's with this or anything else. So we're going to be, JD and I are going to spend some time in the classroom, the one that's down the dungeon over there below the garages. So we'll be in there doing some little talk about the Garmin and showing off sort of how it works a little bit. And then we'll be installing some of them in some of your cars as well. JD, do you want to just talk about the kind of the details of that?
All right, so just a couple of logistics. If you pre-registered, I sent you an email and assigned you to a particular run group. The intention is that we're trying to split our seminars up into 30-minute blocks that are interlaced between your driving sessions so that we won't take away any of your driving. Now, if you're instructing, you're on track for 2 sessions. You're probably debriefing your student in the 3rd one, so it's going to be really busy. But we still love to chat with you some. You just may not be able to see the whole program. We have a sign-up sheet at the registration table. If you haven't pre-registered, the key is we're limited to 25 people in a single room for Virginia state law, is my understanding. So first 23 people to sign up there besides Ross and I will get in. The others will have to keep you out if it gets full. So far, it hasn't been. As Ross mentioned, we've already pre-assigned a few people to have a demo, but I've got a couple of demo slots left. So if you're interested, we'll put the device in your car. The idea is we plan to our last session, that last 30 minutes of the day, actually review data on the device that was recorded here throughout the day. Thank you.
So there's also a sign-up sheet over at the Chin Trailer. So if that sounds like something that interests you, be sure to go by and sign up there while there's still spots remaining. Once again, it is limited by how many people we can have inside, and of course, they also could only bring a finite number of devices with them. I also got Don over at the TMI store. Don, you got any specials this weekend? Garmin. Wow, that name just keeps coming up. All right, so be sure to go over there and hang out with Don. He loves to talk about the Buccaneers. And also, we brought Janetta on for this weekend. They've got their beautiful, new car over there. Be sure to swing over, check it out. I believe they might be allowing some test rides and some test drives. So if you're a solo qualified driver and you're looking for the newest thing to hide from your spouse, be sure to go over and talk to them all about it. Beautiful looking car. And of course, we missed him last year, but he is back with us once again. We have Bob with E-Tech. Been out there the last couple of days, so I'm sure he got a lot of shots of y'all already. He's going to be with us the next 2 days, and he's going to get even more.
We're located right over by the flagpole. We'll have photos hanging up this afternoon, and we'll be here all day tomorrow with photos as well.
Thank you, Bob. Now, a couple more things before we break. Always a VIR, I have to talk about the blend line. So if you're new to VIR, getting on and off the track, you head to the middle of the paddock, make a right if you're coming from this direction, pull through the center gate, pull down to pit road. You're going to show Danny your wristband. This lets him know you're going out in the correct run group, and then he is going to tell you to proceed onto the track. When you go onto the track, stay driver's right to the apex of turn 1. Doesn't matter if you're the first car out there or if it's parade laps or if you're going out on your bicycle at the end of the day. Please just denote it to muscle memory. Stay driver's right to the apex of turn 1. There's some cars that are 150, 160 plus coming around the bend right there, and if you move over driver's left, you could move directly in their path. Best case scenario, we give you a black flag. Worst case scenario, you have a car-to-car. And nobody wants to be the driver responsible for that this weekend. When you're coming off the track, as you're coming through hogpen, move driver's right, fist up in the air or hazards, let the drivers behind you know you're going to be pitting in, and then hug it nice and tight to the right and come back into the pits. Speed limit in the paddock is 15 miles an hour or so, or whatever speed you would feel comfortable getting hit by a car at. Remember, there are families there. There might be some kids. They're walking around with earbuds in or something. Remember, a lot of race cars and track cars don't have horns. They're heavy. Get rid of them. So make sure that everyone's paying attention. That way nobody gets hurt in the paddock or out there on track. VIR has other things going on today. The skid pad is rented. And, of course, you've got the race going on over on the North Course. So please be extra special if you're going in between here and the lodge or wherever you need to be going. Please don't speed on the access roads. Please don't use the access roads to bed in brakes or anything. VIR's had a problem with that in the past. They have asked us to continue to remind drivers about that. We just want to make sure that nobody gets hurt out here. We're all out here, like I said at the beginning, to have fun. And nobody's having fun if people are getting hurt. So, also, if you're putting down jack stands, jacks, or even your trailer tongue, make sure that you put a piece of wood underneath that. VIR will come over and fine you for putting metal on their pretty asphalt. Everybody give a round of applause to the RX. Yeah, it's running. It doesn't have an LS in it. So remember, VIR is very proud, like I said, of their asphalt. Make sure you don't put anything down the Security here, if you've been to VIR over the years, they're strict. I think that's the kindest way to describe them. They do their job very well and with enthusiasm. So just make sure you're staying parked inside the fire lanes, or I'm sorry, outside of the fire lanes, inside the yellow lines. If you need power, go to the front gate. They'll get you hooked up. And overall, let's just leave VIR looking as beautiful as it was when we got here. That way, they keep inviting us back for years and years to come. Anybody have any questions about that? All right. So, one last reminder: spins, 4-offs, massive loss of control. We're going to ask you to self-report. If you think you spun and nobody saw you, you're wrong. Corner workers here do a great job. They're very passionate, and they are going to want you to come in. And all we want to do is just make sure that you're okay, that your car's okay, and then we're going to get you back on track. The longer you make them wait on you, the longer they're going to make you wait on pit lane. So nobody wants to waste their track time. And remember, like I said, we're all in this together. Don't let black flags breed black flags. Now, if somebody goes out this morning and goes off in the morning warm-up and gets stuck and we have to recover them, that puts a little bit of a sour taste in their mouth. Does anybody want to volunteer to be the first driver to go off this morning? No. Time out. Come over to the trailer after this. Nobody wants to be that driver because when you're sitting out there, in the grass or the tires, you really do feel like a heel. You're worried, what do I do to the car? How do I explain this to my spouse? I'm taking time away from my fellow drivers and my friends, and you might be thinking that your friends are out there laughing at you on track. They're not. They're concerned. They want to make sure that you're able to go home, take your car home, go home, kiss your family, say hi to your pets. So remember, this is a community. Each and every one of you has the ability to make this a fantastic track weekend or a terrible track weekend. I'm going to leave it to y'all. Y'all have a format. Y'all have a beautiful track. Y'all have a schedule. Drivers, the rest is up to you. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to ask instructors to please go meet with Clint. And Clint, where do you want to take him? Just right over there. Instructors, if you want to meet Clint over by the tech shed, have a quick talk with you. After that, the morning track orientation session will start in about 20 minutes. The drivers' meeting has ended. Y'all have a fantastic time today. Thank you all for coming out. Please come by and talk to us if you have any questions, comments, concerns, queries, qualms, quirks, anything like that. We are here to make sure that you have a fantastic time. Thank y'all very much.
All right.
All right, one more thing.
Demos. We've got the demo units in the classroom, so just line up, bring your car to us on the east side of the garages. Don't park in front of the garages. Thanks.
Yeah, once you lose, you lose them.
That's right.
Oh, cool.
They know what.